Creating your own potting soil is one of the most rewarding things you can do as a gardener. Not only does it save money, but it also allows you to control exactly what goes into the mix. The right potting soil ensures that your plants get the nutrients, aeration, and drainage they need to thrive. But making potting soil isn't just about mixing dirt with compost, there's a science to it. Get it right, and your plants will flourish. Get it wrong, and you could be dealing with poor drainage, compacted roots, or nutrient deficiencies. Let's dive into the do's and don'ts of making high-quality, cost-effective potting soil at home. Potting soil should be lightweight, well-draining, and full of nutrients to support plant growth. A well-balanced mix usually includes the following components. Base material. This provides the bulk of the soil structure. Common base materials include cocoa coir, peat moss, or compost. Aeration additives. These ensure proper drainage and prevent soil compaction. Examples include perlite, vermiculite, and sand. Nutrient sources. Organic matter like compost, worm castings, or aged manure enriches the soil with essential minerals and beneficial microbes. Moisture retention agents. Cocoa coir and peat moss help retain water while still allowing excess moisture to drain. Now let's break down the most important do's and don'ts when making your own mix. The best potting soil starts with the best ingredients. Choose organic compost, peat moss, or cocoa coir as a base. Avoid using garden soil, as it is often too dense and may contain weed seeds or pathogens. Plants need oxygen at their roots, and poor drainage can lead to root rot. Adding perlite or vermiculite ensures that the soil stays loose and well aerated. If you're working with heavy compost or clay-like materials, increase the proportion of drainage additives. Synthetic fertilizers are unnecessary when you use high-quality organic amendments. Worm castings, aged manure, and compost provide essential nutrients and improve soil structure. A good mix includes about 10 to 15% organic matter. Before planting, check how your homemade potting soil holds moisture and drains excess water. A simple test. Wet the soil slightly and squeeze a handful. It should hold together loosely but break apart when poked. If it's too soggy, add more aeration material like perlite. Not all plants require the same type of soil. Adjust the recipe based on your plants, succulents, and cacti. Use more sand and perlite for fast drainage. Vegetables and flowers. A balanced mix of compost, peat, or cocoa coir and aeration materials works best. Seed starting mix. A fine textured, lightweight mix with less compost and more cocoa coir is ideal. Garden soil is too heavy and often carries diseases, pests, and weed seeds. It also compacts easily, restricting root growth in containers. Too much of any one ingredient can create an unbalanced mix. Too much peat moss or cocoa coir can hold excessive moisture, while too much sand can lead to quick drying. Stick to a well-tested ratio. 40% base material, peat moss or cocoa coir, 30% aeration materials, perlite or sand, 20% compost or worm castings, 10% additional amendments, such as slow-release organic fertilizers. Potting soil should have a neutral to slightly acidic pH, 5.5 to 7.0. Peat moss is naturally acidic, so if you use it as a base, balance it with limestone. Compost can also help stabilize pH levels naturally. Homemade soil should be stored in airtight bins to prevent it from drying out or becoming infested with pests. If possible, keep it in a cool, dry place and occasionally turn it to maintain aeration. Many store-bought soils contain chemical fertilizers that can leach out quickly and don't improve long-term soil health. Stick to organic amendments that release nutrients slowly, supporting plant growth over time. Step-by-step guide to making potting soil at home. You'll need cocoa coir or peat moss for moisture retention, compost or worm castings for nutrients, perlite or vermiculite for aeration and drainage, optional sand, aged manure, or biochar for extra benefits. Making your own potting soil is a game changer. It's cost-effective, fully customizable, and great for plant health. By following these do's and don'ts, you'll ensure that your homemade mix provides the perfect environment for your plants to thrive. Have you tried making your own potting soil? Share your experiences in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Botanical Bliss for more expert gardening tips.